You ever play an eco round in CS? That feeling of walking into a round with just a Glock, maybe a P250 if you're lucky, and the other teams fully butt up with rifles, armor, and grenades? That's what it feels like working under a micromanaging boss. You got skill, you got instinct, you know the map, but you're constantly under equipped. You try to make plays, but someone's always second guessing your every move. Like, you're not allowed to pick mid unless someone's holding your hand. Micromanagement is the workplace version of an eco round. You got limited space, low trust, and no real room to breathe. But you're expected to perform miracles. And here's the twist: it's usually not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because they're scared. They don't trust the process, they don't trust people, and when someone doesn't trust, they try to control everything. Let me tell you this early on: you are not the problem. You're not lazy, you're not incompetent, and you're definitely not imagining it. Micromanagement is a leadership failure, not a personal one. There's this weird thing that happens when someone's always on your back. You start shrinking, not physically, but mentally. You stop suggesting things, you stop caring, you stop doing anything outside the absolute minimum. Because what's the point? You know it's all going to get picked apart anyway, so you get quieter. And when you do that, the micromanager gets even more paranoid. Why aren't they communicating? And it becomes this feedback loop of stress and second guessing. One giant mental hostage situation. That's what it was like for me in my last retail job. I had a boss who would literally stand behind me while I worked. Not joking. Right over my shoulder, breathing, clicking his pen, watching me type. I felt like I was being live streamed to HR. Every time I tried to take initiative, they jump in with a correction. Every time I made progress, they changed the goalpost. If I stayed 5 minutes late to help a customer, they'd ask, "Why are you still here?" You know what that does to a person over time? It chips away at your confidence. It makes you forget who you are. But here's the thing: I didn't quit that job right away. I had to pay rent. I had groceries to buy, and I wasn't in a position to just walk out, no matter how much I wanted to. So I had to learn to survive it. And that's what this video is about. If you're working under a micromanager right now, I want to give you more than just stay positive advice. I want to give you real tools that I used, stuff that helped me breathe again, reclaim my sanity, and eventually build a way out. And if you stick with me through this video, I promise I'll leave you with something better than a rant. I'll give you a plan. But first, let's get one thing straight. This is not about beating your boss or proving them wrong. This is about protecting your peace while you still need the paycheck. It's about learning how to hold the line, keep your sanity, and maybe even build a future where you don't have to deal with this kind of leadership ever again. Let's talk about how to handle this. Not with fake smiles or corporate buzzwords, but with stuff that actually helps you survive day to day. Because that's what it is: survival. One of the first things I had to learn was this: don't take their behavior personally. I know it's easier said than done. When someone's constantly checking your work or correcting you mid sentence, it feels personal. It feels like they don't trust you, or like they're always waiting for you to mess up. But here's the truth: micromanagers aren't reacting to you, they're reacting to their own fear. They're scared of looking bad, scared of losing control, scared of not being needed. So they manage from a place of panic, not leadership. That insight alone helped me breathe a little easier, because once I stopped making it about me, I could start protecting my energy. So, how do you protect yourself? Let me give you a few things that work for me. And I go even deeper into this in my ebook, by the way. If you're watching this and nodding along, just click the link in the description. It's called How to Survive a Micromanaging Boss, and it's written for people exactly like you: retail workers, shift leads, service workers, people stuck under leadership that doesn't lead. But let me give you a sneak peek right now. The first strategy is something I call document to protect yourself. Now, before you roll your eyes, I don't mean keep receipts like you're trying to catch someone out. I mean quietly and consistently keep track of what you're doing. Who said what when you did a task, when you were pulled off it, how long it took, and what got changed. Micromanagers are notorious for rewriting history. You can bust your tail doing something all day and hear, why didn't you start this earlier? When they were the one who had you doing something else. Keeping small notes each day protects your memory and your peace. Even if you never show anyone, it keeps you sane. It's your version of a demo review, if you will. So when someone says you were AFK, you got the log. The second thing, mirror their language, but don't become their echo. Micromanagers tend to speak in extremes, like always, never, ASAP, why didn't you? They're emotional players, not logical ones. So when you're talking to them, give them short, clear updates in their style, but stay calm. You don't have to absorb their chaos. Think of it like this: if they are rushing mid with an op and panic in their voice, you don't need to sprint after them yelling too. You hold your angle, you communicate clearly, you let the chaos pass you. The third piece is gold, and it took me way too long to learn. Build your escape plan silently. I don't mean rage quitting, I mean while you're there, use every free moment to start writing your next chapter. Update your resume, learn a skill on your lunch break, start that side hustle that's been living in your notes app for a while. You don't need to shout about it, you don't need a mic drop moment, just start planting seeds. Because nothing gives you peace like knowing you're not stuck, you're just in between chapters. This is what I did when I started working on this YouTube channel and writing my ebook. I stopped waiting for things to change at work and I started building something outside of it. Quietly, on my terms, before work, after shifts, in the back room on my break, and even when I'm having a call right now. And look, I know not everyone has the time or energy to do that, especially if you're a parent or working double shifts. But if there's even a 15-minute window in your day, I promise it's enough to start. Even the best players started in aim maps, grinding flick shots in silence. You don't need the stage yet. You just need the reps. Let's talk about something heavy. When someone treats you like you can't be trusted, it changes how you see yourself. That's the part most people don't get. It's not just annoying, it's damaging. When your boss corrects everything you do, rewrites your emails, move, move things on the shelf after you place them, it's not just them being picky, it's them saying, you're not enough. And when that happens every single shift, you start believing it. You start shrinking, you stop speaking up, you stop trying. And maybe the worst part is, you feel like you can't talk to anyone about it. Because the people outside of retail or customer service, it just sounds like you're complaining. Can't be that bad. At least you got a job. Just do what they say. They don't understand that this job is chipping away at you, little by little. And the worst part is, you used to be confident. You used to enjoy work. You used to laugh. You used to care about doing a good job. Now, you just want to get through the day without a headache. So, how do we fix that? How do you rebuild confidence when the very person who's supposed to lead you makes you feel small? Let me tell you what helped me. Number one, find proof that you're not crazy. Start collecting little wins, even if they feel dumb. One time I had a customer write a review that said, "The guy with the calm voice helped me when no one else could." And I'm not gonna lie, I screenshotted that thing and looked at it every time my boss made me feel invisible. Sometimes you need to hear from someone, anyone, that you're doing okay. So if someone says thank you, remember it. If a coworker smiles after you help them, count it. If you solve a problem without needing help, write it down. Start collecting these small wins like they're armor, because they are. And if you can't find any at work, look outside of it. Are you kind to strangers? Do you show up for people in your life? Are you still here, trying even when things are hard? That's not weakness. That's proof of your strength. Number 2, reconnect with who you were before the job drained you. Think about what you used to enjoy doing, what you were good at, what gave you energy. Maybe you used to draw or build or play. Maybe you used to stay after work to help people because it made you feel good. What made you feel useful without needing anyone's approval? Write it down. Seriously. Make a list. Stick it somewhere you'll see it. Because here's the thing. You didn't stop being that person. You've just been surviving. That version of you, the one with ideas, creativity, empathy, is still in there, and you don't need permission to wake them back up. Number 3, start doing one thing each week that's just for you. This one changed my life. When I was deep in burnout, like completely cooked, I started waking up just 20 minutes earlier. Not to work, not to be productive, just to sit, listen to music. I watched a video that made me feel human. Sometimes I just had a coffee without being rushed. That small act reminded me I'm a person outside of this job, and you are too. Maybe you write, maybe you game, maybe you walk to the park and just breathe for 5 minutes. Whatever it is, protect it. Because when your whole day feels like you're being watched and judged, you need a place where you can just be. And you don't have to earn that peace. You already deserve it. Number 4, talk to someone who understands. This one's tough, especially if you've been isolated for a while. But you don't have to fix this alone. Whether it's a coworker you trust, a friend, a sibling, or even a stranger online who's been through it, like me, find someone who won't gaslight you. Someone who says, yeah, I've been there too. This is part of why I made this channel, because I didn't want to keep going through this stuff alone. That's also why I made my ebook, because sometimes we just need to know someone sees us, that our experiences matter, that what we're feeling is real. If you're struggling, grab it. It's not just tips, it's a lifeline. The kind I wish someone threw to me when I was drowning under someone else's need for control. You're not weak for feeling stuck. You're not broken for being tired. You're not overly sensitive just because your body is reacting to stress. It's normal to feel off when someone always in your space, always judging you, always tweaking the work you just finished. But your value isn't up for debate. Not by your boss, not by your coworkers, not even by the part of you that's been trained to doubt yourself. You matter, and you're allowed to want more. Alright, let's get practical. You got a micromanaging boss. You're mentally checked out, but rent's due next month, so quitting isn't an option right now. So, how do you survive your shifts without blowing up, breaking down, or becoming someone you don't even recognize anymore? Here's what I did, and still do, to stay grounded in the middle of the madness. Number 1, give yourself small mission objectives per shift. When I worked under a micromanager, I realized I couldn't control much. Not how they treated me, not what they nitpick, not even the vibe in the room. But I could control what I chose to focus on. So I started giving myself one clear, calm goal per shift. Something small, manageable, personal. One day it was stay calm, even when they interrupt me. Another day, help two coworkers feel seen. Or don't let their tone change how I talk to customers. These little missions gave me something to win, even on bad days. And when your self-esteem has taken hit after hit, small wins are a big deal. Number 2, use gray rocking to protect your peace. You ever heard of that? Gray rocking is basically this. Be as boring and unreactive as a literal rock when someone's trying to push your buttons. Micromanagers thrive on control. They'll bait you with tone, with weird little comments, with microaggressions. But if you stay calm, give short, neutral replies, and don't feed the drama, eventually they'll either get bored or realize you're not the one to mess with. It's not passive, it's just strategic. You're choosing your battles, you're keeping your energy for the things that matter, and it works. Number 3, build invisible boundaries. This one's huge, especially in retail where physical space is limited and emotional boundaries get bulldozed. An invisible boundary might look like taking your full break, even if no one else does, not explaining yourself when you don't have to, not checking your phone or answering texts from your boss on your day off. It's saying, hey, I matter too, even if you're only saying it to yourself. People might not respect boundaries you speak out loud, but they'll usually back off when you hold them with action. It's quiet, it's powerful, and it works over time. Number four, create your shift survival kit. Look, if you were going into a storm, you'd bring an umbrella. So why walk into a mentally draining environment without a mental health kit? Here's what I kept in mind: noise cancelling earbuds for break time, a few screenshots of positive customer feedback, for those you suck at your job moments, a playlist that made me feel human again on the bus ride home, a secret note in my phone with reminders like, you're not what they say, you have plans beyond this is a season, not a life sentence. Have a go to song, a calming scent, a phrase that snaps you out of the spiral. Whatever helps you reconnect with yourself, stash it. You deserve to feel safe, even when you're surrounded by chaos. Number five, shift your inner dialogue from defense to truth. Micromanagers mess with your mind. They make you question your instincts. You start narrating everything you do. You apologize when you haven't done anything wrong. You rehearse how to say something 50 times in your head. It's exhausting. So here's a little trick. Talk to yourself the way you talk to someone you love. When you're walking back from getting chewed out for no reason, say, that wasn't fair. You handle it well. When you feel like you messed up something minor, tell yourself, everyone makes mistakes. You're still learning. That doesn't erase your worth. Your boss might never validate you, but you can. And once you start doing that consistently, your brain begins to believe you. Number six, create a next step plan, even if you're not ready to leave yet. This is for your sanity. One of the hardest parts about working under a controlling boss is the feeling of being trapped. So even if you can't leave now, start building the path. It might look something like updating your resume, watching YouTube videos that teach you new skills, creating a simple Notion page of your job goals, or even starting something small on the side, like a content channel, newsletter, or side hustle. That feeling of progress, no matter how small, can keep you afloat on days you feel like quitting. Don't wait until you break. Start building now. And finally, number seven, remind yourself why you haven't given up. This one's personal. For me, it was my family, my dream of building something that actually helped people. I wake up and say, I'm not doing this forever. I'm doing this for now to create what's next. You might be in survival mode right now, but survival is not the end of your story. You're not meant to live under someone else's thumb. You're not here to just follow orders and lose yourself. You are here to grow, to serve with dignity, to build something that reflects who you really are, not just what they want you to be. And hey, if this hit home and you want more real tools for dealing with micromanagers, I wrote a short ebook called How to Survive a Micromanaging Boss. It's packed with stuff I wish someone had given me back when I felt stuck, anxious, and unheard. The link's in the description. Grab it, keep it, and share it with someone who might need it, because we shouldn't have to figure this out all by ourselves. Alright, you made it this far, and I know what that probably means. You're tired, maybe not just physically, but emotionally. Tired of doing your best and still feeling like it's not enough. Tired of shrinking yourself so someone else can feel in control. Tired of waking up, heading to work, and knowing deep down, this isn't me, this isn't my life. But here's the truth. If you made it this far into this video, if you stayed in the game even under pressure, if you're still showing up with kindness even when the room feels cold, that says more about your character than any performance review ever will. That means something. Here's where we take the power back, because working under a micromanager doesn't just burn you out. It makes you forget that you have a say, that you have options, that you have a future beyond the walls of that store, or that break room, or that tightly wound system. So let's talk about what it means to build a real exit plan without blowing up your life overnight. First, clarity. Before anything else, get clear on what you actually want. Not what you're running away from, but what you're running towards. Do you want more freedom, more creativity, a job where ideas are valued, a business of your own, maybe even helping people like you? Write it down. One sentence, one vision, one reason why all this pain isn't going to be wasted. That's your compass. Second, skills. You already have some. Let's be real. Working retail builds more skills than most people realize. You know how to stay calm under pressure. You dealt with unpredictable people all day, every day. You know how to explain things clearly, how to handle conflict, how to read a room. That's gold in the real world. Now add one or two more that excite you. Learn editing, write better emails, take photos, make content, start that side project. You don't need a degree, you need proof. And every small thing you create is proof. Third, momentum. Start stacking wins outside your job. Post one thing a week, apply for one better job a month, set aside $10 a week in an escape fund. Build an audience, one subscriber at a time. You're not stuck, you're just starting. And the moment you start doing something for yourself outside their control, you'll feel it. Like your lungs fill with air again. Like someone finally opened a window in a stuffy room. Like life starting instead of draining. Fourth, community. Listen, I know it feels like you're the only one dealing with this. Like nobody else understands what it's like to be quietly falling apart in the back room between tasks. But I promise you, there are thousands of us. People working late shifts, carrying invisible loads, silently asking, is this really it? Is this all I get? It's not. That's why I built this channel. That's why I write what I write. And that's why I made this video. To remind people like you, you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're just undermanaged and over-controlled. And your life is so much bigger than the little box someone's trying to keep you in. Fifth and final, hope. Hope isn't naive, it's a decision. It's saying, even if today was hard, I still believe something better is possible. It's what got me through some of the worst seasons of my work life. Hope reminded me that the best people are often the ones that get overlooked. That kindness doesn't make you weak, it makes you rare. And that just because someone has a title doesn't mean they understand leadership. Real leaders build people up, not break them down. And you're not broken. You're becoming. If you're still here, I want to thank you, not just for watching this, but for caring enough about your own life to look for something more. If you want to go deeper, grab my ebook, How to Survive a Micromanaging Boss Without Losing Your Mind. It's packed with everything I learned from 17 years in retail, and it's written with people like you in mind. Burnout, hopeful, and ready for something better. And if this video meant something to you, drop a comment, tell me your story, or just say, I'm in, if you're ready to start taking your power back, one day at a time. Your eco round might have started rough, but you're not out, and the comeback, it's always just one good play away. See you in the next one, guys.